Hello my friends, this is Bryan from Nerdword Entertainment. With the release of Sonic Mania now done and over with, and with the gaming masses having sunk their teeth into it over the past few weeks, I'm honestly not quite sure where to begin here. It's been a long time coming, and if you know me, you know that my relationship with this series of games has been interesting on all sides. On one side you had this game, on the other you had the upcoming 3D Sonic game, Sonic Forces, and right in the middle you had me, a lapsed, exhausted Sonic fan who seemed to have equal amounts of excitement and skepticism for both. Thank goodness now that one of them is here, I can rest easy and tell you that at least half of Sonic's career in 2017 has been a success. There is no denying that Sonic Mania is an absolute blast of a video game that has been capturing the hearts of even the most cynical of fans, myself included. It captures that pure and innocent sense of fun that seems to have been forgotten in recent years, not just with Sonic, but also with most of the gaming industry. What we have on our hands here is quite possibly the best Sonic game in over 15 years. But I'm here today to ask, is that really enough? Sonic Mania may be a fun and exciting game, made with love by Taxman, Headcanon, and Pagoda West, but I'm not entirely sure if this particular game is worth all of the positive buzz surrounding it. I also don't believe that this direction is exactly where the Sonic series should remain. At the risk of sounding contrarian, I'd like to really pick this game apart, as I do see some glaring issues with it. Before we get into the nitty-gritty though, let's start with the standard stuff. Once you get past the absolutely breathtaking animated intro sequence, the narrative through line of Sonic Mania is basically non-existent. There's this pink MacGuffin stone that Dr. Eggman has, which basically gives the game an excuse to teleport Sonic and his friends across time and space to previously visited zones with no real context or proper transitions. And of course, it is still up to Sonic, Tails, and/or Knuckles to chase Dr. Eggman and his new army of hard-boiled heavy robots and put a stop to their, well, honestly, I was never quite sure what the end goal was here. Unlike, say, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, there's no real proper progression between levels, even with the occasional cutscene. And spoilers, the final cutscene just decides to bring in Little Planet from Sonic's CD out of nowhere. Wait, is that what we were saving? I wasn't exactly clear on that. So yeah, don't take this game's story too seriously. There really wasn't any thought put into this one, and I hate to kick off my criticisms this early, but Sonic 3 and K had a much more entertaining narrative. It always gave you solid context and motivation to keep going between every level. Mania so lazily does this to the point where even the main draw of revisiting locations doesn't seem to make sense in the end. Okay, so with a complete lack of narrative substance out of the way, what we have left is the locations themselves, and hey, that could be enough. After all, Sonic 1 and 2 didn't have a story, but they had amazing locales to explore, which kept the flow of the game strong. Sonic CD and 3 and K were sufficient with this too, so I can't wait to see what Mania's got up its sleeve. Alright, so what do we have here? Wait, what's this? Green Hill Zone? Chemical plant? What's going on here? Oh, cool, here's a brand new stage. Studiopolis? Count me in, this is a what? Flying battery? I've been here before, what's the deal? Did anyone even like Oil Ocean Zone? You mean to tell me that there are 12 zones in this game and a whopping 8 of them are places I've been to already? Why? Oh why, in a world where we have Sonic Generations, Sonic 4 Episodes 1 and 2, Sonic Runners, and Sonic Lost World, would the developers feel the need to prioritize throwbacks to previous levels from previous games? I thought we were done with this, guys. Was this really necessary for a return to form for classic Sonic? I certainly don't think so. In all seriousness, guys, the overabundance of reused locations is absolutely the most glaring and obnoxious issue that Sonic Mania has. When the vast majority of the game is comprised of, hey, remember that zone? Or, whoa, check out this obscure reference, then does the game truly have an identity of its own? I understand that some levels like Chemical Plant introduce some brand new elements into the mix, but why not take all of those new elements and incorporate them into more new content in general? In the end, I'm still playing Chemical Plant, a level that just flat out doesn't excite me as much as something I haven't seen before. Also keep in mind that just about every Sonic game for the past 7 years has done this, so what's this game's excuse? It's one of those been there, done that scenarios that I only want to plow through so that I can get to one of the game's very few original stages as fast as I can. It kind of reminds me of playing Knuckles' stages in Sonic Adventure 2. It's not necessarily an awful experience, in fact it can be pretty fun, but what you're really here for is those super fun Sonic platforming levels, and that's what motivates you to get through these treasure hunting stages. Same thing applies here. At their worst, these reimagined stages can come across as boring or even uninspired, and on their own, they're they're just fine, but what really stands out here is that the 4 brand new original stages are fantastic! They are the kind of absolutely incredible new locations I would expect from a brand new classic-styled Sonic game. Or maybe even better! Studiopolis, Press Garden, Mirage Saloon, and Titanic Monarch are absolutely oozing with creativity and style. The Easter eggs and callbacks that can be found here are some of the best in the game, and they offer that exact sense of wonder and spectacle that I wish the entirety of Mania had. These stages stand out so much that they exacerbate the annoyance of having the vast majority of the game taken up by all these places I've already been to. I'm quite frankly tired of blatant callbacks in Sonic games. I've seen what truly awesome things this series can do if it chooses to look forward rather than backward, and that especially applies to Sonic Mania, because just about every new thing that this game does seems to set entirely new standards for the franchise as a whole. Take the special stages for example. These are the absolute best in the series due to their fair challenge and unexpected change in perspective. They draw inspiration from other special stage concepts from all across the series and combine them all into something that feels fresh, new, and exciting. Or how about the boss fights? These are also my all-time favorites in the classic Sonic series, or maybe even in general. In the same vein as Sonic CD, there's a deeper focus on trying to discover just how to land a hit on your opponent and keeping it up without taking damage. This applies to the show-stopping battles against Eggman, and also in the case of the amazing new villains, the hard-boiled heavies. Every single one of these guys offers a fight with a perfect amount of challenge and fun, with some truly substantial Easter eggs thrown in for good measure. Now see, this is a tasteful way of pandering to nostalgia. Throwbacks that subvert your expectations and are done creatively. Playing Mean Bean Machine in a boss fight against Eggman? Fantastic! An HVH that transforms into long-forgotten classic characters? Genius! Not counting the obvious remixes, the original soundtrack by T-Lopes is also so unbelievably good that I just might prefer it to the music from the original Genesis games and even some of the 3D ones. It's a blend of jazz and pop that lends itself to Sonic perfectly, and I don't think I could have it any other way now. The newly animated sprites and detailed backgrounds are immaculate, and Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles have never been more expressive. And that's to speak nothing of the game's incredible intro sequence, traditionally animated by Tyson Hess and Studio Yada. This may be the best opening sequence in series history, completely invalidating that top 10 list I made a few years back. The controls, the physics, the mechanics, they're just perfect! Sonic's drop dash is a cool new move, and you even have the option to go back and use his other abilities from past games in the series, like the Super Peel Out and the Insta Shield. You can only use them when you're not using a save file, but it's fine, I'll take it. Tails and Knuckles are also more fun to play as than ever. It kinda makes me wish even more that Amy Rose were in this game. I would have loved to see new animations from her and to play as her in a classic version of her Sonic Advance 1 style. Even so, the gameplay options here are so abundant. There's debug mode, a fully working Puyo Puyo minigame, and even the ability to play with Knuckles as your partner. Yes, even as Knuckles! When Sonic Mania goes above and beyond, it absolutely shows. Its best moments are the ones where it does new and unexpected things. The gameplay experience is as tight and polished as ever, so it allows for Mania's highlights to shine through as some of the best moments in the series. Just like every other Sonic game. The Sonic series, ever since the dawn of the 21st century, has had the issue of keeping its high points in select bursts. The Sonic games are often held down by the addition of extra baggage and filler that cheapens an otherwise stellar experience, all for the sake of adding length and meat to the game. In most cases, it's with different styles of gameplay interrupting the main flow, but Sonic Mania also falls into this trap by allowing only a fraction of the experience to be truly creative. Most of the game feels like a formality, an obligation, a half-hearted decision likely enforced by out-of-touch executives. No amount of zip lines will convince me that this isn't just Green Hill Zone again. Even though this bouncy slime gimmick in Chemical Plant is fun, it's still mostly just Chemical Plant. Oil Ocean may have 700% more fire, but I never liked Oil Ocean to begin with. They just feel like the same old levels that I've been playing for years. I'm not even that old. I was born after Sonic the Hedgehog 3 came out, and even then I managed to play through these games countless amounts of times. It's old to me. I don't care to see this again in a brand new game. There's a distinct sense of love, care, and enthusiasm that only seems to show in the new content, but not here. As a whole, Sonic Mania is a fun and exciting game, but the entire package simply did not impress me. Only parts of it did. This has always been Sonic's greatest dilemma, and I think it's time for the executives at Sega and Sonic Team to give Sonic more of a chance to shine on his own with new ideas, rather than with cheap, uninspired pandering. We're at the point where the very concept of Sonic has become a gimmick in and of itself, meant only to evoke surface-level feelings of the 1990s. Most people don't understand that Sonic is capable of so much more than that, and Mania has partially shown that the series can not only continue his legacy in a greater manner than ever, but can also do even more in the modern day with the progress that we've made in the realms of game design. It just disappoints me that we still have to keep waiting for that legacy to be continued in a more substantial way. I can only hope that the very same developers of Mania will stick around and be given free rein to create more fresh and new ideas in their next project, which could be the brand new classic-styled Sonic game that I'm hoping for. As it stands now though, Mania doesn't quite make the cut for me. I'm gonna lay this to rest now. Is this the best Sonic game? No way! Absolutely not. A game that so utterly leans on dated references and in such a redundant manner never could be. Look, I know it's exciting to have a fully good new Sonic game on our hands. It's been years since we've had that, I know, and I know that there are tons of fans who will eagerly claim this as the greatest in the series, but guys, you deserve better. Don't jump to conclusions here. Yeah, the game is good, but it's merely a glimmer of what the future of classic Sonic truly can be. All that being said, yeah, Mania is a huge leap forward for Sonic's legacy and his credibility. It's good to see the masses treating this character so kindly these days, and it's also nice just to have a really fun new game to play. I've got no doubt in my mind that one day, classic Sonic will once again be a mainstay in gaming culture. Now, if only we could see the same happen with Sonic Team's modern version of the character. At the time of this writing, Sonic Forces is looking questionable, with the redundant inclusion of Sonic's younger self from Mania and seemingly watered-down 3D gameplay in the form of the custom hero. I think the year 2017 will be a turning point for Sonic in general, a year in which both established facets of the franchise emerge with flawed but promising new games that indicate a more stable future for the Blue Blur in general. Being the dedicated Sonic fan that I am, I'm sure it'll be exciting, if not a little exhausting, to see how it all plays out. And so guys, until Sonic Forces and beyond, this has been Bryan from Nerdword Entertainment, and I'll catch you guys later. Hey guys, Bryan here. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any thoughts or want to leave any feedback, feel free to go over on Twitter and talk to me over there. I don't really read YouTube comments all that much anymore, but I'm always active over on my Twitter at Bryan Salter, and I want to thank you guys for supporting my videos all this time, even throughout my absence, and getting this channel to over 10,000 subscribers. That's insane. I know I've been really dry on content lately, but I'm gonna try and get things back up and running on this channel in some kind of timely manner. Believe me when I say that I will be giving this exact same review treatment to Sonic Forces when it comes out, hopefully closer to its release date than I did here, but you know, whatever the case may be. Again, thanks so much for watching, thanks for supporting Nerdword Entertainment all this time, and again guys, I will catch you guys later.